full load, find the speed on full load. And then they have given RA is equal to 0.25 ohm, RA is equal to 0.25 ohm, and then RSH is equal to RSH, shunt field resistance is equal to 230 ohm. Yes, this is the second problem. If you have any doubt, please refer the chat box or will type and then post the second problem. And then I also dictated. Now you say what are the given data they have given in the problem. So all of you wrote, I think so. I'm going to erase this problem and then do the second problem.
Guys, if you have any doubt in the problem, please refer chat box, okay?
The second problem, they told to find out the full load speed. So it is different than the normal problem. So I'm solving the problem in the board. Please see it and then you can solve the third problem. So the given data as voltage is equal to 230 and then they have given RA is equal to 0.25 and then RSH is equal to 230 ohm. And then what are the given data? Full load current and then no load. They have given the no load current. So no load current means IL. No load, you have to mark it as not, which means no load. Which means now if I entered in the not, that is called no load. IL not is equal to 3 amps. They have given no load current. So IL not is equal to 3 amps. And then they have given the no load speed also. They have given no load speed. So speed is equal to N is equal to 1100 RPM. So it is no load, you have to end with not. So N naught is equal to 1100 RPM. So this is the given data. Other thing, the full load current is 41 amps. So full load current means IL is equal to 41 amps. These are the given data. From this, I'm going to find out the full load current. So here I'm going to use the formula N naught is equal to N, and then is directly proportional to EB naught by EB. There's nothing else. We know the formula N is directly proportional to EB by pi. So they won't talk about this flux here. So we know that N is directly proportional to EB. So N is I'm using the formula. And then I'm going to find out that no load to full load speed. So I have named that N naught by N and then EB naught by EB. The same formula EB by pi. Here you can say N is directly proportional to EB and then same way N is inversely proportional to the flux. So I'm using the formula here. So with respect to no load to full load. So I have marked it as no load is 0 and then full load is N normal. So normally we have calculated in terms of full load. So this is N is equal to full load and then EB naught, no load to full load. And then now I'm going to find out so I'm going to apply this formula. For this, we know that N naught, and then I'm going to find out the full load speed. So I'm going to find out the N here. Before that, you have to find out the EB naught and then EB. If you know the value, then only you can find out the full load speed value. Is it clear? Is it clear or not? Is it clear or not? Yes?
Yes, ma'am. They are posting in chat box.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yes, ma'am. We can proceed, ma'am. They are chatting in the chat box.
Okay, sir. Okay. So?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to find out the EB here. So, what is that? EB naught is equal to V minus IA naught RA, correct? Am I correct? Am I correct? We know that V is equal to EB plus IA RA. The same formula, I'm going to find out the no load. So I have named as EB naught and then IA naught. Other things are same. So now I'm going to find out V is equal to 230 and then I'm going to find out IA. I don't know IA naught value. So I have to find out the IA naught. We know that IA is equal to IL minus ISH. So IL naught. So IL naught is there given 3 amps. You have to find out V as ICH. ICH is nothing but V by RSH. So what is V? V is equal to 230. My RSH is equal to 230. So from this I can write it as 1 amp. So 3A minus 1 amp is equal to 2 amps. My IA naught is equal to 2 amps. Yes? Is able to follow? I simply write it as no load to full load. I have termed as no load as V naught. So IA naught is equal to IL naught minus ISH. So we know that IA naught is equal to 2 and then RA is 0.25. From this I can find out my EB value. What is EB? 230 minus 2 into 0.25. What is the value? 229.5 volts. This is my EB naught. Am I correct? Am I correct? I have find out the EB naught. And then next I'm going to find out my EB because in this I'm going to use the final equation. From this you can find out the full load speed. For this I need to find out my EB naught and EB. So we know that N naught and then EB naught. Next I'm going to find out the EB. The same formula, EB is equal to V minus IA into RA with respect to full load. So I have used the EB is equal to V minus IA into RA. So before that you have to find out the IA value. IA is equal to IL minus ISH. We know that they have given IL is equal to 230. Am I correct? Yes? They have given 230 and then ISH. Before only we have solved ISH is equal to 1. The same I have used here. So 230 minus 1 is equal to 2. What is that? Sorry, IL is equal to 41. So 41 minus 1 is equal to 40 amps. This is my IA. Is it clear? The same formula I have used with respect to naught. If it is not, this is called no load. The same formula. If I mark as not means it's no load value and then this is my full load value. We know that IL minus ISH, they have given IL values is 41 and then ISH already I have found with respect to V by RSH is 1. So IA is equal to 40. Now I'm going to substitute the value. What is that? EV is equal to 230 minus IA is equal to 40 into what is RA? RA is equal to 0.25. So if you solve this, you can get the EB value. What is my EB? 230 minus 40 into 0.25. What is the value?
220.
Yes, sir?
220.
220. Yes. So my value is equal to 220 volt. Every time you have to end with the unit. So EB is equal to 220. Now I'm going to substitute the value here. We know that what is N naught? What is N naught? What is N naught? They have given the no load speed. 1100 RPM
1100.
divided by N, which is equal to EB naught is equal to 229.5. Please refer the board, and then EB is equal to 220. So if you solve this, you can get the full load speed value. What is full load speed? Substitute and say what is the value you are getting, the N value. Substitute and say what is the full load speed value. Yes. Somebody
Guys,
answer
anybody?
my
And
answer the value which is
1074.
who are not saying support to இப்போ வரைக்கும் யாருமே சொல்லாதவங்க யாராவது இருந்தீங்கன்னா
1054
டர்ன் ஆன் பண்ணி சொல்லுங்க. எஸ்
and 1054.46.
1054.5.
46.
What is the unit of speed?
RPM.
RPM, revolution per minute. So this is the full load speed value.
Super.
Yes? Any doubt in this problem? Please copy, and then straight away I am moving to the last problem.
Vidya, I have already posted in the chat box.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So the third problem, sir typed and then send that in the chat box. Please copy it and then let me know. Then only I can solve the third problem. Please make it fast.
Yes, if you're having any doubt, means please unmute and please ask us, because these are very important problems that may you have come to your CA and also in the end semester examination. So we are concentrating on that only. So please, if you are having any doubt, please unmute and kindly ask us. Okay.
Yes. If you completed, let me know. Then I'm erasing the second problem and then straight away move to the third one.
If you are knowing the formulas, means that is very easy. Okay, we are just a substituting the formula. So if you are knowing the formula, means it will be very easy.
Have you completed?
And also please make use calculators, then only you will get a correct results. Whether you people are completed, getting the same answers what we are deriving here.
The third problem, I have seen it, I think so. Now you are say the given data, what I am going to find out for my convenience, I am repeating the problem, third problem. A 120 volts DC shunt motor has an armature resistance of 0.2 ohm and field resistance of 60 ohm. It runs at a 2000 RPM, taking a full load current of 40 amp. Find the speed on off load condition. So, I have to find out the speed on off load condition. What is full load and off load? So, how I am going to find out the off load speed? So, before that, you have to write the given data. What are the given data you know from the problem? What is V? What is V?
120, ma'am.
Yes, V is equal to 120, and then armature resistance
0.2 ohms.
0.2.
RA is equal to 0.2 ohm, and then field resistance. What is that? Field resistance?
60 ohm.
அதான் அதை எப்படி எழுதணும்?
RS.
RSH, yeah, correct. RSH is equal to 60 ohm, and then it runs at a 2000 RPM. N is equal to 2000 RPM, and then they told to find out the off load condition. So it is a full load speed, and then full load current. So full load current means IL1, and then I have named as N1 because it's the full load. I'm going to find out the off load. So N1 is equal to full load at 2000 RPM. IL is equal to 40 amps. This is the data they have given. Yes. Before that, I'm going to find out the another N value. So the last sum formula is N1 by N2 is equal to EB1 by EB2. So now 1 is equal to full load, and then what is that? 2 is equal to half load. Now I'm going to find out the we know that the N1 they have given full load speed is equal to 2000 RPM. So I'm going to find out the N2 because they told to find out the half load speed, and then after that you have to find out the EB1 and EB2. If you know the EB1 and EB2, then only you can find out the N2 value. The same formula which I used in the second problem. So now I'm going to find out the EB1 and EB2 with respect to the another formula. So before that, I'm going to find out my EB1. So what is EB1? What is the formula? EB1 is equal to V minus IA1 into RA, because every time my armature current only varying. So you have to consider the IA1. If it is full load, you have to mark it as EB2 is equal to V minus IA2 into RA. So now I'm going to find out the IA value. We know that IA1 is equal to IL1 minus ISH. So ISH won't vary. IL1 is only vary. We know that they have given IL1. IL1 is equal to 40, and then ISH. What is the formula to find out ISH?
V by RSH.
V by RSH. So what is the value of V? V is equal to 120. RSH is equal to 60. So I'm getting a 2 value. So 40 minus 2 is equal to 38 amps. This is my IA1. Am I correct? Now I'm going to substitute the value. V is equal to 120 minus IA1 is equal to 38 into RA is equal to 0.2. If you solve this, you can get the EB1 value. What is the EB1? What is EB1? 120 minus 38 into 0.2. What is the EB1 you are getting?
112.4.
Yes, 112.4 volt. This is my EB1. Am I correct? Yes, this is the full load. I'm going to find out the full load EB, back EMF. Next, I'm going to find out my EB2. Yes, for EB2, you have to go with the IA2 value. You have to find out the again EB2 with respect to V minus IA2 into RA. So for this, I'm going to find out the IA2. Before that, we should know. We know that T is directly proportional to IA. Pi into IA. I'm going to find out the value with respect to full load. So T2 is equal to IA2. So before that, if it is full load, what will happen? It is the off of the T1. This is the common. Listen, they have given to find out the off of the load. So if it is the full load, what will happen? My full load will be off of the full load. What is that? This is my off load, and then it is my full load. So it will be 1/2 of the T1. எப்பவுமே எப்படி இருக்கும்? Off load எடுத்தோம்னா அதோட வேல்யூல off of தான் இருக்கும். கரெக்டா? Yes, my T2 is equal to 1/2 of T1 because they told to find out the off. So full load off எடுத்தாதான் எனக்கு off கிடைக்கும். So 1/2 of T1. So we know that now I am going to substitute T1 by T2 is equal to IA1 by IA2. We know that the formula T is directly proportional to IA, and then the main formula is T is equal to pi into IA. So they are told to find out, I need a IA value, so I can omit the phi value. So I can write it as T is directly proportional to IA in terms of T is equal to IA. So I'm going to find out my IA1 and IA2. For that, I need T1 by T2 is equal to IA1 by IA2. So we know that T1 value and then IA1 value and then T2 value. From this, you can find out the IA2 value. So what is my T1? I'm going to substitute T1 in the same. T2 is equal to 1/2 of T1, which is equal to IA1 is equal to 38, and then IA2 is I'm going to find out. So the T1 will get cancelled. The 2 will come the numerator part. So from this I can find out my IA2, which is equal to IA2 is equal to 19. This is my 19 amps. I'm repeating once again. So we know that formula T is directly proportional to pi IA. I'm going to find out the IA2 value. For this, I can use the value T is directly proportional to IA. So we know that you can write it as T1 is equal to IA1 also. So if we want to find out the another value with respect to the same formula, instead of n, I'm using the T value. So from this, you can write it as T1 is equal to IA1 and T1 by T2 is equal to IA2. So now I already said what is that? Full load is equal to off load is equal to half of the full load. So you can write it as T2 is equal to 1/2 of T1. I'm going to use the formula. So T1 by, we know this T is equal to 1/2 of T1. So the T1 will be cancelled. So the 2 will come the side, and then 38 by IA2. So the IA2 will be this side. So the 38 divided by 2 is equal to IA2 is equal to 19 amps. So now we know that 19 amps is equal to IA2. From this, I'm going to find out the EB2 value. So what is EB2? EB2 is equal to V minus IA2 R2, sorry, RA. So V is equal to 120, IA2 is equal to 19 into 0.2. So now you say what is the value of EB2 you are getting? What is the EB2?
116.2. 16.2.
116.2.
So this is my EB2. So 116.2 volt. So what is the next step? I'm going to find out the N2 because they told to find out the full load speed here. So I think we have copied this. Where is this? And then we know that N1 value is equal to, what is the N1? 2000 RPM. N2, which is equal to EB1 is equal to 112.4 divided by 116.2. So what is my full load speed? What is N2? What is N2?
206.76.
206.7.
76
76. What is the unit?
RPM.
RPM. This is the full load speed value. This is the third problem. Any doubt in it? Any doubt? If you have any doubt, yes. The same problem they have given in the series motor. How you can, what is the value it will be varying? Which formula it will be varying? The same problem I'm going to derive for the series motor. Which formula I'm going to change? Have you got my point? What I'm trying to say? The same problem I'm going to apply for the DC series motor. In which formula it will be varying with respect to shunt motor? Have you all got my point? Till now, I'm solving the problem regarding only the shunt motor. I'm
T is
talking
equal to 1
about,
by 2.
yes,
T is equal to 1 by 2 pi TF under the ma'am.
so there is no change in the torque equation formula. It will be varying with respect to armature, because in series motor, my IL is equal to IA is equal to ISC. If it is series motor, no need to find out the IA value because IL is equal to IA. You can straight away substitute the value of IL with respect to IA. Am I correct? Am I correct? Yes? Have you all got my point, what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yes. So if it is compound motor and long shunt and DC shunt, the only one thing, the armature current formula only varying. Other things are same. Yes? Again, the voltage equation, if it is a shunt motor, is long shunt and short term, other things will take, other term will become ISC plus RSC. If it is long shunt and short shunt, the another term will become this side ISC plus RSC. Other things are same. If you know the formula, if you know the concept, you can easily substitute and say what is the value of, because everything I have preset in the first class itself. While solving a shunt and series motor, I have given the formula first itself, how to find out IA and then IL, and then what is the voltage equation with respect to shunt motor and series motor and long shunt and short shunt. The same formula I'm using here also. The only one thing I didn't say that regarding the full load and half load and then no load to full load. So there you can apply the concept here. That too I said in the problem. If they told to find out half load and full load, you have to supposed to use the formula like this: N1 by N2 is equal to EB1 EB2. That too I have took in terms of N is equal to EB by pi. This formula only I have took the formula. The same way T is equal to pi IA. They told to find out the half and full load. So there I can write it as T1 is equal to IA1. If in the problem this only depends upon the flux, you can write it as TA is equal to the same formula. They have told the half load flux and then full load flux. Then you can use the T1 is equal to pi 1 and then T2 is equal to pi 2. So what they have given in the formula, depending upon that, you can choose the relevant expression. So if it is, they have told to find out IA, if they told to find out pi 2, you can use this formula. Everything, the basic formula is equal to T is equal to pi IA, and then N is equal to EB by pi. If you know the concept, you can easily substitute and then you can easily solve the problem. I think any doubt in it regarding problem?
Vidya ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Till now,
Yes, sir.
we are going to complete the second module of portions, no? Ma'am, we are having that DC motor and the types of DC motor videos, that is animated videos we are having.
Okay,
So
sir.
if you completed means, we will
Okay, sir.
move to
You
that
can
session.
show me that to the student. Sir, please pin the Suresh Kumar sir name. Sir will again
So
teach you the
actually,
animation
in
video
last
regarding
class
the
we
type.
have seen the construction part of the induction motor, the AC motor, how it's work like, and what is the difference between AC. So what is the difference between single phase and three phase motor, and all we have discussed during the last class. So today we are going to see that we have discussed during the earlier classes. That is the DC motor construction. So construction wise, it is same as the AC motor and DC motor are same. So the principal working principles and the types. So we have already discussed in the class. In our class, there is one small videos that represent the construction and working principle of the DC motor. So I'm going to present now. Please pin to my name. Okay.
Industrial world. From a simple drill machine are the most important elements of today's industrial world.
Now it is audible.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
okay.
From a simple drill machine to a sophisticated robotic arm, motors are used everywhere. There are two types of electric motors, AC motors and DC motors. In these, because of some important characteristics like fast reaction, better speed control, and simple construction, DC motors are very popular in automatic machines. In this video, we are going to understand the construction and working of a DC motor. Let us first start with the construction. The outer part of a DC motor, which is generally static, is known as stator. It consists of a frame and inward projected poles. Core of these poles are made from silicon steel. On this insulated copper wire is wound to make windings. These poles are bolted and fixed inside the frame. When DC current is passed through the windings, it creates static magnetic field. There are two sets of poles in a DC machine, main or field poles and interpoles. The connections of these poles are then brought outside through connectors in the terminal box so that we can give electric supply to them and even can do check for the fault. Main poles create static magnetic field when current is passed through its winding. In this magnetic field, rotating part of motor lies known as rotor or armature, made by number of stampings of highly permeable material, that is silicon steel, which allows magnetic field to pass through it easily. Slots are cut on the outer periphery of armature to receive coils of copper conductors. Each coil gets connected to an external DC source by a pair of commutator segments arranged in form of a ring. This complete assembly is housed over a cylindrical shaft made up of high quality steel. Because of the bearings At both sides of the shaft, the rotor is capable to rotate between the field poles. When electric current is forced to pass through the rotor conductors by a set of carbon brushes through commutator segments, it creates their own magnetic field, which tries to distort the magnetic field created by the field pole. Due to interaction between two magnetic fields, electromagnetic forces are act on the rotor conductor, and these forces act tangentially on the rotor surface. Therefore, a torque is produced at the rotor shaft and the rotor rotates. To understand this process more easily, let's take an example of a single loop having a set of its own commutator segments. Due to the DC voltage applied by an external DC source, current will flow in the coil in this direction from positive to negative potential. And by Fleming's left-hand rule, we can find that this side of coil receives force in upward direction and this side will receive a downward force, and hence the loop rotates. During the rotation of loop, we can find that commutator segments comes in contact with brushes of opposite polarity one by one. This way, the conductor of left side always carry current in this direction and of right side in opposite direction. This helps to maintain continuous rotation of the coil. We can also find that magnitude of force on the coil is maximum in this region. After that, magnitude reduced considerably. This caused uneven torque and movement of rotor. To make maximum torque always available at the shaft of rotor, more such sets of coil with a pair of commutator segments are placed in the rotor. When one coil passes through the region of maximum torque, next coil will take its place. This way, shaft of rotor always provide higher and smooth torque. Coils are connected to the commutator segment in such a way that every instant of time, each and every coil carries current, but the side of coil who comes at the left hand side carries current in one direction and the side at right hand carries in opposite direction, irrespective of the rotor position. This can be achieved by the lap or wave connection of windings. We will discuss about this in our upcoming videos. To ensure that the current given to the commutator segments will not reach to the shaft, mica insulation is placed between them. In a small DC motor, permanent magnet can be used to create static magnetic field, but they can lose its magnetism due to heating, vibration, or aging. That's why in high rating motor, electromagnets are used and their magnetic field density can be controlled to control output torque. Let's have a look at the coil design. If a single turn coil of thick wire is used here, then it allows higher current and give higher torque. Whereas if multi-turn coil of thin wire is used, then current and torque is also reduced, but we get higher speed. That means at the time of manufacturing, we can decide whether we want high torque low speed machine or low torque high speed machine. Here, the work of interpole is to reduce sparking at the brushes over commutator ring due to the effect of armature reaction. Again, we will discuss its detail in our upcoming videos. To energize the field poles, we can use same DC source which runs our DC motor, or we can use a separate pole. The method which we use will decide the type of DC motor. In our next video, we will see different types of DC motor. At last, all the connections from
The DC motor or the direct current motor has a lot of application in today's field of engineering and technology. As you already know, there are two electrical elements of a DC motor, the field windings and the armature. The armature windings are made up of current-carrying conductors that terminate at a commutator. DC voltage is applied to the armature windings through carbon brushes which ride on the commutator. Different functional types of DC motor are available in the market for specific requirements. In this video, we will go to learn different types of DC motors. There are four basic types of DC motor. 1. Permanent magnet motors. 2. Series motors. 3. Shunt motors. 4. Compound motors. Permanent magnet motors. The permanent magnet motor uses a magnet to supply field flux. Permanent magnet DC motor have excellent starting torque capability with good speed regulation. A disadvantage of permanent magnet DC motor is they are limited to amount of load they can drive. These motors can be found on low horsepower applications. Series motors. In a series, DC motor is the field is connected in series with the armature. The field is owned with a few.
Starting breaking. ரொம்ப ஃபாஸ்டா எல்லாம் பிரேக்கிங் ஆகும். நான் ஸ்டார்ட்ல போயிட்டு அப்புறம் பிரேக்கிங் போகலாம். ஸ்டார்ட் முடிச்சுதான் எனக்கு என்ன தெரியும். போட்டு சொல்லிட்டேன் நான். ஸ்டார்ட் முடிச்சுட்டு அப்புறம் பிரேக்கிங் போகலாம்.
மேடம்
சார் ஸ்லோவர் இருக்கா?
Vidya ma'am,
எஸ் சார்.
it's over ma'am.
Over.
I think I have missed one video.
Okay. Yes. Have you all rewind the module 2, the characteristics, how it will be working and all? That start told the see the clear video of the how the DC motor works. Have you? It is rewinded or not? These are the things I have told in the construction and working principles of DC motor. Yes?
Yes,
Whether
yes,
that
ma'am.
video is useful or not. Any doubt in the characteristics of AC and DC motor? Any doubt?
Yeah, I know.
I'm asking with you only. If you have any doubt, please ask now itself. Then only I can move to the next half of the module 2. So till now I'm talking about the basic construction and working principle and then the characteristics of the DC and AC motor. The next topic is I'm moving to the starter, the starting and then stopping of the motors. Till now any doubt? Somebody unmute until or else you can message in the chat box. I'm nearby chat box only. I can see your messages also. If you have any doubt, please let me know. Then only I can teach once again the concepts. So nobody having no doubt. Or you are there in the line. If my voice is audible, so why no one is replying?
It is audible only, ma'am, but they are not replying.
Okay, sir.
Guys, did you understand clearly about the characteristics of DC motor? If you are
Yes,
having
sir.
any doubts,
Now, last 10 minutes, I have given the session to you. You have any doubt? Ask me, then I will teach you once again the concepts. If you have no doubt, then the next class I have moved to this right away to the starters. Before that, you have any doubt, let me know. I will teach you once again the concepts behind that, your doubts. No doubt, sir. And then if you have no doubt, then you are supposed to get 100 marks in the CAA 1 and CAA 2. Yes? Okay, and then I move to the question session. And randomly I pick number, and then you have to say the types, and then what are the, how it will be working, and then AC and DC motor. So 133, Vijay Prasanna.
Yes, ma'am.
How we supposed to start the DC series motor?
There is a starter.
See, understand my question. How the DC series motor should be started?
Current apply பண்ண.
Yes?
There is a magnetic field inside the motor.
No.
That passes from current.
No, not exactly. I'm talking about how we can start the DC series motor. Anybody? Yes, Nandakumar is right. We have to start the DC series motor with load. Why? Why we should start with some load? Why? Anybody? 317 Lakshmi Vinayaga something. 317 Lakshmi
Yes,
Vinayaga.
ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Why should we started the DC series motor with some load? Why? Why? If you know the answer, you can message in the chat box also. Why we should start the series motor with some load? Why? Anybody who know the answer? Why we should start
Ma'am,
the
because
DC?
it start with the dangerously high speed, ma'am.
Why?
மேம் அது வந்து ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலே ஹை ஸ்பீட்ல வந்து ஸ்டார்ட் ஆகும் மேம். அதனால வந்து மோட்டார்
அதுதான்மா
டேமேஜ்
கரெக்ட்
ஆகும்.
சந்துரு. அது ஸ்டார்டிங்ல அதிகமா ஸ்பீட்ல வரும். ஏன் அது ஸ்டார்டிங் ஸ்பீட் அதிகமா இருக்கு? ஏன்
மேம் ஏன்னா அதுல ஃபீல்டு வைண்டிங்கும் ஆர்மேச்சர் வைண்டிங்கும் சீரிஸ்ல கனெக்ட் இருக்கிறதுனால
ஓகே, அதனால
ஸ்பீட்
என்ன
வந்து
ஆகும்?
இது ஃப்ளக்ஸ் வந்து அதிகமா ப்ரொடியூஸ் ஆகும் மேம்.
Because T is directly proportional to IA squared. IA squared அப்படின்னா ஐஏங்கிறது ஸ்டார்டிங் கரண்ட். ஸ்டார்டிங் கரண்ட் நார்மலா டபுள் த டைம் ப்ரொடியூஸ் ஆகும். ஸோ நான் 2 amps கொடுத்தேன் அப்படின்னா அது என்ன ஆகும்? 4 amps கிடைக்கும். ஸோ நார்மலா இருக்கும்போது பேக் இஎம்எஃப் 0வா இருக்கும்போது என்னோட ஸ்டார்டிங் கரண்ட் இன்னும் அதிகமா இருக்கும். அபவுட் 220 or 240 இருக்கும் ஸ்டார்டிங் கரண்ட் நார்மலா இருக்க மோட்டாருக்கு. ஸோ இப்போ சீரிஸ் மோட்டரா இருந்துச்சுன்னா 240 ஸ்கொயர்னா இமேஜின் பண்ணிப்பாரு எவ்வளோ இருக்கும். ஸோ it will be damaging the winding, and then there is a spark will occur in the commutator side and brushes will be may get damaged. And then if it is the high starting current and then high starting torque, it will be run at a dangerously high speed. In order to avoid that, we have to give some load. So load கொடுத்தேன் அப்படின்னா என்னோட டார்க் கம்மியாகும் and then current to கம்மியாகும். So in order to avoid that, I have to start with some load. DC series motor, we have to start with some load. Yes? Have you all understood now? Now what are the types of compound motor? What are the types of compound motor? If you know the answer, you can answer in chat box also. What are the types of compound motor? No, nobody know the answer?
Long shunt, short shunt, cumulative differential.
Yes, Balaji?
Long shunt, short shunt, cumulative differential.
Okay, super good. And then, which is self-starting, which is not self-starting? An AC motor, which is not self-starting motor. It is not self-starting motor.
இண்டக்ஷன் மோட்டார்.
Induction motor, you have to say it's a single phase or 3 phase.
Single phase.
Yes, single phase induction motor is not self-starting. Why? Why?
மேம் அதுக்கு தேவையான ஃப்ளெக்ஸ் வந்து சிங்கிள் ஃபேஸ் இண்டக்ஷன் மோட்டர்ல வந்து கிடைக்காது மேம். அதனால அது நாட் செல்ஃப் ஸ்டார்டிங். அடிஷ்னல் வைண்டிங் போட்டு தான் அதை வந்து செல்ஃப் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ண முடியும்.
ஓகே, கரெக்ட். என்ன அப்படின்னா சிங்கிள் ஃப்ளக்ஸ் கொடுத்தா அப்படின்னா ரோட்டர் ரொட்டேட் பண்ண முடியாது. ரொட்டேட்டிங் மேக்னெட்டிக் ஃப்ளக்ஸ் வேணும் நம்மளுக்கு, ரொட்டேட்டிங் மேக்னெட்டிக் ஃபீல்டு வேணும். அப்படி இருந்தால் மட்டும்தான் ரோட்டர் ரொட்டேட் பண்ணும். அதுக்காக என்ன பண்ணுறேன் நான், அடிஷ்னலாக வைண்டிங் கொடுக்குறேன். ஸோ அந்த அடிஷ்னல் வைண்டிங்னால இது வந்து செல்ஃப் ஸ்டார்டிங் ஆகும். அதனால சிங்கிள் ஃபேஸ் இண்டக்ஷன் மோட்டார் இஸ் நாட் செல்ஃப் ஸ்டார்டிங். What are the types of 3-phase induction motor? Types of 3-phase induction motor?
Squirrel induction motor, slip ring induction motor.
Yes, correct. Chandru only answering. Squirrel cage induction motor, slip ring induction motor. What about others? எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சு யாருமே மத்தியரசன், சந்துரு, இந்த பாலாஜி, ரேட்ரில் 2-3 பசங்க அவங்க மட்டும்தான் ஆன்சர் பண்றாங்க. வேற யாரும் ஆன்சர் பண்றது இல்லை. Have you all submit the assignment? Have you all submit the assignment? Still I didn't get the 96 and then adding the late 20 students also around 101 or 102, but we didn't get the exact 102 assignments. Already sir told to close the assignment. If you didn't submit the assignment, and then we can provide only 0 marks. No, don't expect anything from us. If you are good at us, we also will be good at you. Is it clear? I think time is over, and then shall we wind up, sir?
Ma'am, I
Yes,
will.
sir.
Yes, ma'am. Voice is ma'am. I will post on quiz to them, ma'am. Now I will
Okay,
post
sir.
on quiz to them.
Okay, sir.
So make this also for the first half module, second half module, ma'am.
Okay, sir. So
I
today
think
attendance
we have
will be
given
based
two
on
quizzes
the
in
quiz.
this module, right, ma'am? We have given two quizzes for this module, I think so.
Okay, sir.
So this is the second quiz, ma'am.
Okay, sir. So attend the quiz. All of you must attend the quiz. Wait for 2 minutes. If you copy the link and then you can leave it.
சார் அசைன்மெண்ட்டு செகண்ட் மாடியூல்லேருந்து சப்மிட் பண்ணால் போதும்ல சார்?
Flat entries காப்பா?
ஆமாம் சார்.
Flat entry-யா?
ஆமாம் சார்.
பார்த்துக்கலாம். நீங்க சப்மிட் பண்ணுங்க, பார்த்துக்கலாம். சரிங்களா?
சரி, ஓகே சார்.
லேட் என்ட்ரிக்கு எக்ஸ்கியூஸ் இருக்கு, அவங்க சப்மிட் பண்ணலாம். மற்றவங்க எல்லாம் தான் லேட்டா வந்தா, மற்றவங்க எல்லாரும் தான்
ஓகேவா?
சீக்கிரமா வைக்கணும்.
ஸோ நம்மளோட இந்த மேம் இப்போ ஐ திங்க் இட்ஸ் லைவ் மேம். இட் வில் பி ஆன் லைவ்.
ஓகே சார்.
ஸோ எல்லாரும் பார்த்துக்கங்க. கிளியர்?
To attend the quiz, shall we wind up, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.